fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
Hello and good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm Jessica Williams. You already know what today is. It's Motivational Monday. And here's today's quote. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. By the wise Maya Angelou. I love this quote because it's a reminder that we are not in control. Even if you're a controlling person, you're really not controlling anything because everything happens for a reason. What's meant to be will be. Whew, we can kind of take the pressure off of ourselves and really just enjoy the day. Enjoy today, plan for tomorrow, and let's make it a great Monday. On today's show, we learn about Gigi's Playhouse and so much more. I'll see you after the break.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Today's segment is sponsored by the University of St. Francis. The University of St. Francis engages a diverse community in learning, leadership, and arts. So today with me, I have Tim Parsley, who is the Director of Studio Art. How are you, Tim?
Good, I'm good.
Good. So we are here on the streets in Fort Wayne, walking down, viewing this beautiful mural that you and your students created. So tell me about the mural.
Well, this is a project that I led with students as a part of a public art and mural painting class that is focused on everything from the initial concept through working with the community, creating it, completing it. It really shows them the start to finish of a public art project.
Wow, that's so cool. And you as an artist, tell me, what is it like to be an artist? What do you do?
Well, my studio practice is focused mostly on painting and drawing and collage that kind of reinterprets American history. But that's sort of the nucleus of other things that I do as an artist. I also work as a public artist, obviously painting murals in different areas throughout the Midwest and other places. But then I work as an educator who's interested in helping students to figure out how their work can impact their communities.
That's so cool. And you have painted over 30 murals?
Around 30. I've lost track of
Right.
how many, but it's approximately 30 murals in different parts of the U.S. as well as one that's in Nairobi, Kenya, and so they've kind of just gone in a lot of directions at this point.
Absolutely. And how do you feel that art and this experience plays in the role of the student?
Well, for the student, I mean, on the one level, I hope they get the practical skills so it's a one way they can sustain their career as an artist. They learn about all of the nuts and bolts that are behind the scenes of the finished piece, and that's important for them to understand as professionals. But more than that, I really am hoping that our students understand that to be an artist isn't just about, hiding in some studio somewhere and doing their own private work, but that they have a benefit that they can bring to their community.
Right.
That their cities, their neighborhoods could be more interesting to look at, more beautiful, more engaging, because they as artists live in those neighborhoods.
Right.
And so I want them to be, I like to think, how is your neighborhood or your community better because you're an artist in it?
Yeah, I like that. And so something like this, how long did this take to paint?
Well, when it's with students and we stretch it out through a course, it takes a little longer. So there's a couple months worth of work in this that kind of navigates weather and class times and all of that. But typically a mural like this, if it were just me working on one, it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, somewhere in that range. Just
That's
depends.
so quick. You would think this would take years. I mean,
It doesn't always feel quick when you're doing it.
But and what happens if it rains?
Well, if it rains while you're painting, you stop. Thankfully, the paint we work with dries very rapid, so it would have to be a very, very sudden storm to cause it to run. But I really do stress to the students and anybody I'm working with that even if something like that occurred or if there's a mistake, it's all paint. It can be covered over. There's, a multitude of painting sins under the top layer that nobody ever has to see.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Even in the worst case scenario, there's usually always a fix, and you have to kind of tell yourself that in order to not get too bogged down with the setbacks or the challenges that come your way, whether it be weather or mistakes or whatever.
Which is a good lesson for life in general.
Yeah.
Setbacks will happen.
Yeah, they do.
So that's awesome. And, public art is something that is so vivid here throughout Fort Wayne. Why do you think public art is so important in having murals like this around town?
Well, I think, I love seeing this growth of public art throughout our city. I get to work on the Mayor's Public Art Commission and on the review committee, and it's really exciting to see all the projects that are popping up. But when I think in the big picture of why public art is important, I always like to think of public art as I call it a beneficial interruption, that we so easily go into autopilot as we go throughout our days, many times not even noticing the stuff that we might pass by 20 times in a week. But when we come across a work of art, something that's out of the norm, it stops us and we take in its beauty, or we think about its message. We might even be confused by it, but it causes us to pause and disrupt our normal patterns in a way that hopefully is engaging. And so in that sense, I like to think that it is not only causing us to see our world differently, but it's kind of like these projects are, they're like the seasoning, the flavoring on something, and so a city can sometimes feel bland, or it can have those flavors throughout. And so that's what I think it can bring that in a helpful way to a community.
That's a cool way of saying it. The flavor adds a little flavor to the city, conversational piece, and just beauty. So if someone is interested in learning more about the University of St. Francis and taking your program and taking your courses, where should they go?
Well, certainly if they're looking at studying there as a student, they could talk to our admissions department at St. Francis. If they want to just learn more about murals and if that's the right fit for them, even possibly as an education in art, I would love to talk to them. So they can reach out to me at the university through email or through my line there. But it's we love talking to people who are interested about it. And sometimes it leads to a formal involvement with the school, and other times maybe it's a partnership with somebody in the community that wants students to work on a project. And so we have a number of ways. We also have a minor that's focused on public art that students can do individual projects in the community and get credit for that. So there's whether they want to be involved as a student or they just want to partner with the school, we have a lot of ways to mobilize our students into the community so that they're really making an impact on their neighborhoods.
There it is, making an impact on the neighborhoods. Thank you so much, Tim, for chatting with us today.
My pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll see you after the break. Today's segment is sponsored by the University of St. Francis.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Gigi's Playhouse helps empowers individuals with Down syndrome to live confidently and independently. And I'm so happy that today I have Holly, who is the executive director. Hi, Holly.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. And Sarah, who is a Playhouse ambassador. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's start off. Holly, tell us about Gigi's Playhouse.
So Gigi's Playhouse is a Down Syndrome Achievement Center that provides free educational and therapeutic-based programming from prenatal diagnosis all the way through adulthood. So we are walking with the entire family, not just the individual, but the entire family is getting the support and the celebration that everybody deserves.
Yes, absolutely. And you offer a lot of different programs through the Playhouse. So tell us about each of the programs.
Yeah, so every age and stage has a program. So we have LMNOP, which is a language enrichment program for our littles from 0 to 3. We have Leaps and Bounds working on those gross motor skills for our preschoolers. We have Gigi's Kitchen for our kiddos that are school age all the way through adults. And we have Gigi Fit, which is a fitness program, again, for every single age and stage. That works on really developing those motor skills that are so hard for our friends with Down syndrome with the low muscle tone. Everything is so purposeful and helping them reach the best that they can be. And then we have our career development programs for our individuals who have graduated high school. We have Gigi University, which Sarah is a proud grad from.
Yes, congratulations.
It's a 15-week program that is teaching them about health and wellness, career skills, confidence building, public speaking. And then once they graduate, they funnel into our Genesis Health Bar and really hone those career development skills in an actual food setting.
Yes, and Sarah, you work there, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yes, and so how has that experience been for you?
It's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, so tell me, what do you do at the health bar?
I make smoothies, and I come up with new ideas.
Oh, so you make your own recipes?
Yeah.
Okay, share with me one of your favorites.
My personal favorite is the apple pie smoothie.
Apple pie. Oh, that sounds good.
It tastes just like an apple pie.
Really?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so great. And throughout this program, I know Gigi's Playhouse has 30 locations throughout the United States.
We just opened up number 56 in Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah.
That growth is incredible because this is such a empowering organization. And so you teach different things, literacy skills, math skills. Share more about the development of each of those.
Yeah, so we are part of, like you mentioned, a national network. It started with Nancy Gianni with the birth of her daughter Gigi Gianni, hence Gigi's Playhouse. And Gigi is now 20. So when Gigi was born and that diagnosis was delivered, Nancy was just searching for something, a beacon of light and hope. Because with that diagnosis, a lot of our families don't understand what Down syndrome really is. And so there was nothing available. So Nancy, a mom, created Gigi's Playhouse, which from early 2000s to now has grown to 56 playhouses in the United States, one in Mexico. And we've expanded into Gigi's at Home. And so offering virtual programming. So now we're in over 100 countries.
Wow.
And we have an amazing network full of individuals that are just incredibly talented in like physical therapy. So they're the ones that are developing the Gigi fitness programs. We have educators and doctorate students that are developing our literacy and math one-on-one literacy tutoring. We have speech therapists who have developed the Amina Grace speech and language one-on-one tutoring program, and all of these programs are free, which just blows my mind.
See, and that's the thing, offering this service for free and really bringing in the talent that teaches because they donate their time. I found that so fascinating when I was learning about you guys.
Yeah, we are 99% volunteer run.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, if you forget there's good in the world, you need to come see us at Gigi's, because a place like us doesn't exist and continue to thrive without all of the good, because we're privately funded and then primarily volunteer run. So it's just a wonderful place to be.
That is so awesome. And I know that October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. So what message would you like for viewers to take away just about the topic and just about the awareness?
Yeah, so it's Down Syndrome Awareness Month, but here at Gigi's, we always say it's Down Syndrome Acceptance Month, which is awareness in action. So a lot of people are aware that Down syndrome exists, but the acceptance component is we still have a lot of work to do. And so we just ask them to, if you see a friend with Down syndrome in the community, go and say hi, please engage. Come see us at Gigi's Playhouse and really learn what Down syndrome truly is, which is just a diagnosis. And I mean, with Down syndrome, they wear the diagnosis on their face and those beautifully unique features. And so people automatically make assumptions, which most of the time aren't correct. And so just come see us and we'll show you what Down syndrome really is.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining me and sharing more about the Playhouse. And you all can check out their website to learn how to get involved, to come visit and donate and just be a part of this whole journey. We'll be right back.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com. Go to the Living Local 15 page on Wayne.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15.
All right, Scott, if you're going to do some baking, we got to get the experts on the baking. best reviews. We go to Andrea Boudevine for this.
That's right.
She's going to tell us all about this. Welcome. Let's find out.
Thank you.
Let's get in from the expert. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so I think some baking essentials that people really need to start baking in their home kitchen is probably a KitchenAid mixer, something to start, right? This is your workhorse in the kitchen.
This is the Cadillac too of the. And I know a lot of people talk about the size and I mean, so there's a lot of parts of this. But you're saying for someone that's going to jump in,
I think if you're going to jump in first time around, make an investment. The KitchenAid is an investment, but it's worth it. Yeah, and you've got lots of attachments and stuff that you can add onto this little port right here. Make pasta, ice cream, all that good stuff. And you can read all about it on bestreviews.com. We talk a lot about that.
I love that. All right, and then you brought some other kind of staples of the kitchen. If you're recommending someone that's going to get into baking for the first time, these are things they need.
Absolutely. Well, there's rubber spatulas, which you've heard of before. These are actually metal spatulas. They're a little bit different.
Nice.
And I really think these are kind of overlooked tools that we have in the kitchen that are really, really essential to helping you get your stuff done. This little guy will help you separate brownies and cakes from the side. It will help you cut lasagna without slicing your pan, whatever that is, because it's a dull edge.
You don't want to like make something up, like grab a knife and do that, right?
Right, no, especially if it's a nonstick pan.
Yeah.
Don't do that to your
You're
pans.
going to mess up the pan,
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff.
That's not very friendly.
That's not good. All right, I've got something in my hand. What is this? I just found this. What would we use this for?
It's baking essential trivia with Andrew.
You know, am I
Well,
sideburns?
I'm
No?
glad you brought that up because this is actually a basting brush for barbecue. It's made of silicone, which is great. It can take up to 500 degrees. We have a similar model. It's a pastry brush, something something that you can also baste barbecue with this. But the pastry brush is a little bit softer. You can, oil your cutting boards, your wooden spoons like that to keep them healthy. You can wash the insides of pans if you're making caramels. You need to wash the sugar down. That's a little more advanced.
Very
but
good. Clearly the
We'll get
expert.
there though. Andrea's here, we'll get there. All right, I noticed you brought a scale, a digital scale. I don't have one of these. I've always wondered, I know
why?
I'm measuring. Why? Yeah, why?
Why do I need a digital scale?
Tell me.
Yeah.
I never use that because I don't know how to use it really.
Okay, so
but we should.
I love these digital scales mostly because when I'm making chocolate chip cookies, something really simple, they come out all different sizes. They might come out like ovals. They might get a little weird.
Right.
Roll it in a ball, throw it on here. Every single one of them is 1 ounce. They all bake perfectly. It looks like Chips Ahoy. I mean, everybody thinks you're a master. And all you did was weigh it and make sure it's the right size.
Right.
If you're baking something special from Europe or you're using a recipe book from Europe, everything, the rest of the world really uses grams. We use ounces here in America. This will help convert it for you. So if somebody says, I need 355 grams of something, you can put it on there, switch it over to ounces, know how much flour you need.
How simple is that? These are all the tools you need.
It's really handy.
We got the mixer, we got the spatulas, we got the pastry brush, this weird thing you brought, and the scale, everything we need.
And we're all set ready to go.
That's
all right.
right.
And of course, bestreviews.com where we find out more.
Bestreviews.com, yep, we've reviewed over 60,000 products on there, so.
Very nice.
Come have a look.
She's the expert
In the kitchen, let's go.
Time for some best reviews. We're talking about stand mixers. Now, I don't know much about these. She's the expert. She knows more. You actually had one of these, so you kind of have an idea.
We're gonna break down a Christmas gift here in a second. But Andrea, thanks for coming back. Best reviews, obviously. We know the review. Look, you brought the Cadillac version of mixers.
Yes, this is the KitchenAid Pro line. 5-quart bowl, nice big capacity. 4 quarts is about a gallon. That might help you kind of translate the amount.
Right.
But you can read all about these on Best Reviews and compare and contrast the different KitchenAid models. We're here today to talk about budget models.
That's
Budget
right.
models.
And KitchenAid does have one that is
Believe
a
it or
little
not,
better price point.
it's a better price point. This is the KitchenAid Artisan Mini.
Okay.
It's a little 3.5 quart bowl, excuse me. It's got little miniature attachments. It has a broken neck as opposed to a bowl lifter, right? It's a little bit easier to get your ingredients in and out. And this one, I think I mentioned, runs for about $3.50, and it's a great option for those.
Comes with some different attachments. I know that's a big thing for people.
Smaller footprint on your countertop than this guy. It's a little easier to put in your cabinet. It's 10 pounds lighter than that guy.
And when we say KitchenAid, we say Cadillac. This is the top.
Yes, yes. Well, the brand is, yes.
And now we move down a
My
little bit.
Christmas gift
but
has
still good.
arrived. Yes, I did get this for Christmas. I was super excited. It was my first jump into the mixing world.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about what we got.
This is the Hamilton Beach 6-speed electric mixer. This one also has a 3.5 quart bowl compared to those two, and it's powerful. I really like this one a lot. It's also comes with 3 attachments, and it has a really interesting functionality on the side. When you're turning on the speed dial, it has sort of a pulse function. If you've ever used a food processor, right? And so you can actually turn the knob.
Did you figure that one out, Scott?
And it just pops it real quick. It'll pop it with a couple spins. And
Just
it
if you
shuts
need
off.
to-
But
right.
let me tell you, this thing, the next door neighbors know you're mixing stuff. I'll tell you right now, it is a workhorse.
It's a churning.
It is moving.
It's a moving. Okay.
It will wake the baby. Yes,
it will. Yes, it will.
You're right. And we have another one from the brilliant Hamilton Beach. This one is a 7-speed. This is a little bit higher, model than this one. It's got greater capacity. It's a little bit heavier. This one retails for $115.
Ooh, get into my range now.
Yeah.
Right, get into my range. Okay.
We're gonna work you in.
Yeah,
I will say I like the I might call it the suitcase feature. I'm sure an expert like you you're not gonna call it that.
I called it the iron. It's the same thing,
Okay.
but I
Iron,
love
see?
this. If you have to carry it around, it's nice and light, very easy to take to someone's house and bake, or if you're teaching classes. And it's also got, as you probably heard, suction cups on the feet to help you keep it on the counter so it doesn't walk itself off. Yeah, it's so lightweight, you kind of need that.
But wait, there's more, right?
I've got your own mixer from home?
And this one's stuck to the ground too. Look at it. Now this is super, super light. Tell us about that one.
That's very sweet. That is our dash mixer. That one has a 3-quart bowl, the smallest of the small. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful design piece to have out on your countertop. It's a little bit loud. It's a little bit fast, but you know what? It works great if you're in like a restaurant kitchen and you have to whip up whipped creams really quick and all different flavors and things like that. It's also a great starter mixer for those moving into their first apartment or just starting baking.
Loud and fast, just like you.
I love the colors though. I love the color. Right?
It's gorgeous. You can read all about these on bestreviews.com.
That's where we'll head. Andrea, thanks for coming into the
Thank
kitchen.
you.
Baking expert. Let's go.
She's the expert.
This segment is brought to you by Best Reviews, which is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on our website, wane.com. Thank you so much for joining me on today's show. And I want to let you know, if you miss an episode of Living Local 15, you can watch full episodes on YouTube, or you can check out segments on wane.com. Listen, if you do good, good things will come to you. So make it a great day, and I'll see you here tomorrow.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.